there, and welcome to Chalk Talk. My name is Lauren Hooker, and I'm the graphic designer and blogger behind Elle Company, a business, blogging, and design resource for creative entrepreneurs. We decided to take our blog content into video today and switch things up a little bit to talk about one of the questions I'm asked most often through blog comments and emails, which is about my 2-week design process. Back in January 2015, I started working with one client at a time over a period of 2 weeks to design their brand and website from start to finish. And I'm excited to tell you the benefits of working with clients that way and walk through how you might be able to implement this same process for your service-based business. No matter whether you're a designer, an interior designer, a photographer, whatever it might be. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first benefit of the 2-week process is undivided attention, because who doesn't love being the center of attention, especially when you're paying for a service? By working with one client at a time, you're able to focus all of your time and energy into them. And clients are able to see fast progress in almost real time. They've also remarked that it's almost like Christmas because they're able to see updates and drafts at the end of each day. Benefit number 2 is defined start and end dates. Those of you who work in service-based businesses know all too well that projects can drag on forever and ever. So with the 2-week design process, or however many weeks that you set it to, you'll have a definite start and end date for when the project will begin and when the project will end. This is beneficial not only to you and your schedule, but it's also beneficial to your client's schedule. And the third benefit of this process is easier booking. Before I started implementing this 2-week process and working with one client at a time, I was working with multiple clients and trying to figure out how many I could take on at once, how many timelines I would be able to keep up with. But this process has made it so much easier to know how much I can take on, how many clients I can take on, because I'm scheduling them into 2-week windows. If you're considering implementing this 2-week process for your service-based business too, or something similar, here are a few takeaways I've found helpful for implementing the 2-week process and getting everything to run smoothly. And the first is client homework. Before the client process begins and before the design process begins, months ahead of time when my clients originally book me, I give them client homework, which is a series of questionnaires on branding and website design that get them prepared and thinking through some of the things that we're going to cover during our time together. This is not only helpful for the design process running smoothly, but it's also nice for them to have everything ready for me before the design process even begins. So if you're planning on doing something similar, consider client homework and what questions and materials you can get them to give you ahead of time to help your process run smoothly. The second key is constant communication. My clients are normally working throughout the 2-week process, but I ask that they be available and check their email often so that when I send them updates and drafts, they can give me feedback and I can carry on with the process. So if you are implementing something similar for your business, consider doing the same thing, asking that your clients be available so that you can carry on with your side of the process in a timely manner. The third key for implementing this process is mapping out each day. For example, with my design process, I've segmented different tasks for different days. So day 1 is spent on the inspiration board. Days 2 and 3 are spent on logo concepts. Day 4 is spent on my brand style guide, and so on. So for you, segment different tasks and come up with what you're going to do for each day. This is not only helpful on your end for keeping up with the process, but it's also really helpful for your clients and setting expectations for them. And my last piece of advice for getting this 2-week process to run smoothly for you is to schedule in buffer time. For example, with my 2-week clients, I tried my best to schedule 1 week of buffer time in between them just for rest and relaxation and for creativity to come more easily instead of booking clients back to back. This is also really helpful just in case someone gets sick or for some reason the process drags on a little bit longer. So I would highly recommend scheduling some buffer time in your calendar and in between clients. We know that the 2-week process won't work perfectly for every service-based business, but here's the big picture. Think creatively about your process. When Jake first mentioned working with each design client during a 2-week time period, I thought he had lost his mind. I told him that people don't do it that way in the design world. People work always with multiple clients at a time. But as I started to think through it and think through its benefits, it made more sense for me. So I'd encourage you to do the same. Don't just take other people's word for it. Get creative with your process and do something that works well for you and for your clients.
Last night I saw snow falling all around, and every flake reminded me.
Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in to Elle & Company's very first Chalk Talk. If you liked this kind of content and you like us doing videos, we would love to hear from you. So feel free to leave comments below on the blog, and also feel free to share this if you think someone else might find this helpful. Thank you so much for following along with us, and we just might see you for another Chalk Talk next time.
All of us in harmony can be different, but